Okay, hi. So I'm gonna try and make naan bread from scratch out here. I've made it at home several times and I really like the recipe. So I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see what happens. All the dry ingredients, the flour, the sugar, the salt, and the baking powder, I put together already. So I'm doing this instead of sifting it. And then the next step is to whisk egg with milk. I don't have milk. I don't have a whisk, but I do have milk powder and water. I don't really know how much I should add to make a cup of milk, but we're gonna just go with all of it like this. And mix that together, then add the egg. Just using a fork. Okay, I'm gonna pour that in the bowl. I'm gonna try and stir it a little bit more, or whisk it with the fork. And then I add a little bit of the flour mixture, a little bit at a time, to the milk. So the flour mixture I have regular white flour, and then I also have I think some quinoa flour that I added to make it a little healthier. I just put these pants on today and they're already covered. Whatever, it's just flour, who cares? I'm really glad that I brought this bowl. It fits just on the inside of the bear barrel on the top. It's so handy for all kinds of stuff. Whether you're doing dishes or pulling stuff out of the bear barrel that you want, just put aside. It's awesome. It's super handy if you have to wash something. It was a luxury item that I thought I'd bring. Okay, this is almost done. I think I might have to add a little bit more water. I don't think it was quite a cup of water that was in that. That's all right. Let's see. Pour the rest in. I'm going to put a little aside. I think I'll need some later on. Can't remember yet. So you mix this until it's totally combined. And a little bit of water, not much. Try and incorporate everything. Okay, it's pretty well incorporated. Now I'm going to just make a depression in the center. Add a little bit of oil. The oil I have is a mix of coconut butter, coconut oil, sesame seed oil, and clarified butter. That's what I got, so that's what I'm using. And I'm going to knead this until it's nice and pliable. A few more minutes. A little bit more. Normally a couple tablespoons, or teaspoons rather. Scrape down the love on the side. Scrape down the love. This is a lot easier on a table, but I don't think this would be a nice tabletop to really knead dough on, so I'm just keeping it in the bowl. So now you're supposed to cover it in plastic wrap and let it proof for an hour. Leave it for an hour. I'm going fishing. Okay, it's been about an hour, I think. Yeah, it's been an hour. So all I'm gonna do for this part is normally I break this into 8 sections. I'm gonna break it into 12 because I'm gonna do the naan on a small frying pan. So yeah, these will just be kind of little. So I'm gonna knead it a little bit, flatten it, and then it goes back to rest again for another 15 minutes. I'm gonna do that with the rest. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit bigger or smaller. As long as they fit in the pan, we'll see. I'm not quite sure. So I've made 12 like thick cakes. So I've kneaded each one, flattened it out. Just make sure that all the ingredients are well mixed. Again, take out as much air as possible. And again, let them rest for about 15 minutes. And then I will pan fry them. You can do them over a grill and stuff too, but I'm going to pan fry them and see what happens. Hopefully it'll work out. All right, so these have rested for probably about 20 minutes now. I'm going to turn on the Coleman. Want pretty high heat, medium to high. At home, I put them on a piece of tin foil, and I put oil on the tin foil, like a high heat oil on the tin foil, and then done them in the oven. But we don't have the luxury of that here. And if these turn out well, then I'll do them over a fire next time. Okay, so traditionally, naan is in a teardrop shape, but because putting a little bit of oil on them, next one, but because my pan is round, it's already probably too hot. Maybe I'll turn this down a bit. Because my pan is round shape, we're just going to keep it like that. At home, I would definitely roll these out, but not going to. So we just kind of stretch them into shape. Okay, let's see what happens. Normally they'd be bigger than this too. I'll get the next one ready. Yeah, keep your eye on them. So maybe I'll turn it down for the next one. Sometimes they'll puff up. There. Okay, I have 3 more after this one. They're turning out actually quite well. now that I'm rolling them out. Good enough. The next one. So when I put it in the pan, I wait for it to start bubbling. A little bit all over. You can start seeing the bubbles come through the surface a little bit. Not through, but bubbling up from the bottom anyway. As far as the dough, I like it to be somewhat elastic. That's how I prefer it to be for this recipe anyway. It's starting to bubble. Pretty tedious doing this one at a time, but that's okay. Next time I do this, maybe on the next trip, I'll do it over a campfire, now that I know how it's going to turn out. Perfect. Medium brown. The second side is always, the second side always finishes faster. I dive first. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. There you go, naan bread.